Check out our three-point stance now, sponsored by your Mercedes. Barrett's stance on 3 items for the day. First stance, the last 2 drafts are the Eagles' best back-to-back drafts in decades.
Yeah, decades, and I got to give Howie his just due. At the end of the day, he's made something special here this last 2 years. And, when I look back, I was trying to research who had the best drafts. And you look at this draft. I mean, they have some players here, but you look at it, that's a lot of players from the SEC. But then you got Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, 2 SEC guys. You look on the other side, you got Jordan Davis, another SEC guy. Nakobe Dean, also another one. So he went out and got some really good players, and they complement each other well. Cam Jurgens, he didn't come from the SEC, but, at Nebraska, he was the best center, I thought, in the draft. Well, second best in the draft. They have a lot of guys that they can highlight as being good. Now, when you look at Devontae Smith, he was the #1 receiver last year, but this year he'll be the #2. And I venture to say that he would be pretty good against the #2 cornerback. You got Landon Dickerson. I see him as a probable guy to be mentioned above some of the best guards in the league. At the end of the day, Jordan Davis, he's going to be the tempo setter for this team. He's going to be the guy that changes how they run defense here. Jordan Davis will be that guy right in the middle of that defense, which will allow them to run 3-4 or 4-3 type of sets. So, yes, it looks good. There are some, drafts that were pretty good. 2012, 2013.
Good draft.
On those drafts, 2012, Fletcher Cox, Michael Kendricks, Vinnie Curry, Brandon Boykins, and then 2013, Lane Johnson, Zach Ertz, Benny Logan, Jordan Poyer. All these guys are pretty good.
You forgot Nick Foles in 2012.
Oh,
my fault. The man brought him a Super Bowl.
He's just an MVP Super Bowl MVP player.
I get you. You were focusing on guys that obviously were still here.
Well, and people outside of Philadelphia
Yeah.
So there's 3 Pro Bowlers in that. But then when you look at this draft, like we said, Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, Kenneth Gainwell from the year before. Then this year, Jordan Davis, Cameron Jurgens, Nakobe Dean, Kyron Johnson, who we're going to talk about, who may be a major factor. And then also, you got Grant Calcaterra.
Oh, yeah, Calcaterra, yeah.
He's another guy that could be pretty good.
Yeah, this used to be something where it wasn't a highlight for Howie Roseman.
No.
But now when you think about it, it's something he's building on. 2 in a row for him, you think. And then now he has a pair of first-rounders at his disposal next season, too. Can he continue this good streak?
I would hope so. even though I venture to say that those would be 2 low-round first-round picks.
Right.
Because I think the Eagles are pretty good. And, if the Saints, if you look at their offense and look what they have and their defense is great, they could be pretty good also. So we're probably looking around 20, 21 as far as the lowest that they can come in this
Some good value down there at the bottom of the draft. All right, your second stance, linebacker is going to be the best training camp battle for the Birds this year.
No question. You don't know who's going to start where. Everybody's talking about Nakobe Dean. He's the young guy there. But I'm telling you, the best battle will probably be that Mike linebacker and that Jack linebacker. At that position, you got some really good players. The battle will be Kazir White, Davion Taylor, and I also think when you add T.J. Edwards with that and Nakobe Dean, then, if you want to look at the weak side linebacker, still guys are going to be playing. Sean Bradley is a Temple guy who's probably their best special teams player, probably should have made the special teams, all-star team last year. He was that good. He should have probably went to, the Pro Bowl because of how he played last year. As a special teamer. Then, you look at how they're doing on as far as the rush in. Now, they have Hassan Reddick, Patrick Johnson, Kyron Johnson, and then, Ali Fayyad. At the end of the day, those guys will probably be there, but you also have to add Brandon Graham to that mix. You have to add Josh Sweat to that mix, Derek Barnett, because they're going to be a hybrid. They'll be a rush in, but they'll be at the linebacker position in the 3-4. So anytime, I'm seeing battles like that, this means this team is going to be really, really good because this has always been something that the Eagles didn't invest in. And they really went out, invested draft capital in. They brought in guys that could play. And I'm telling you, just a name like Davion Taylor, he's going to make some noise because he started playing well as he turned the corner, then he got hurt. But now he's, a full year under his belt. He's going to be a pretty good player. Don't count him out the mix as far as being that Mike or that weak side linebacker.
And you've always been a big proponent of iron sharpening iron. So, guys that are good are going to make everybody else good. All right,
absolutely.
Let's check out your final stance. Jake Elliott is an elite athlete, says Barrett Brooks. The Eagles kicker is a great golfer, and he's qualified for the Philadelphia Open Championship. Our John Clark caught up with him this week. Take a listen.
I started getting into these gap team matches over here at Bala, and got to talking to some of the guys. They kind of pushed me to start joining some of these gap events, and there's a long history of the Philadelphia amateur events, and the Philly Open was really the only one that lined up with my schedule where I could play the qualifier, and if I happened to get through, I could play the championship event. So put my name into the hat, luckily got into the qualifier and posted a good score, and happy to be in the dance.
And that dance it's the championship at the Philadelphia Cricket Club, and it's very impressive. He's got a very nice swing, Barrett. It looks a little bit like yours.
Well, almost like mine. I think he may have a little bit more in the hip swing, you know, all together.
Oh,
but yeah,
good putter. That's always a good sign.
Right. Well, he's a kicker. They don't have time to do anything else but kick and play golf. Of course, he's going to be that guy that's going to go out there and practice, you know, give a little bit to his game. But at the end of the day, he was a high school golfer. I mean, a tennis player. So he could play more than just one sport.
All right.
You know, high school, you have to be pretty good to play tennis.
You know, I've watched a lot of athletes golf. Hockey players, very good golfers. It's I don't know, a similar skill set as far as muscle. You don't use your feet at all. They have to stay very, very still and planted in golf. Why do you think he's so good at golf?
Because there's all that time sitting on the grass doing nothing. When you're sitting there, he's probably working on this golf swing.
He's reading all those greens.
Right, you know what I mean? You out there kicking you can only kick so much until you kick your leg out. So you got to put your motion into something else. You know, you see that? Does not mean I can play golf. It just means that I can do this motion right here.
Drive for show, putt for dough. That's what they say about Barrett's golf game anyway.
Right.